Now we are.
Holy crap.
Ellis Gregor's already in the house talking smack to those damn Bears fans.
What could be worse for now? Well, actually, there's two things that could be horrible right now. Being a Bears fan and thinking you're going to get Russell Wilson, end up with Andy Dalton, or just being a Jaguars fan and seeing the horse shit signings your team's making. I mean, they did make up for it a little bit today, but, man, those first couple were brutes. Guys I haven't even heard of.
You'd be nice.
Well, I mean, at least they got Shaq Griffin and Marvin Jones, but, man, those first couple, yuck.
You're just jealous because they got money to spend, and they're spending it. Might not be good, but they're spending it.
They got Shaq.
Who gives a shit about the Jaguars? We're talking Vikings. We're talking free agency. Lot of chatter. Maybe not many moves today, but a lot of chatter, and we're going to talk about it. I'm very excited.
Yeah, there's some chatter that's really tickling my fancy. Some not as much, but I do like what I'm hearing. And I do like what the Vikings have done so far, and we're going to definitely hop into that.
Well, let's see. We got SSM Creations attendance continues to be at 100%. Star student Ellis Gregor in the house.
Dave Blayton, school from Conesus Lake, New York.
I'm going to say it's Knesset.
Yeah, you're probably right. I bet you it's got some great salmon in there.
I don't know what that means.
Carrington? Oh, Ellis back. He's still in Carrington.
A lot of wide receivers still out there too to chat about. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm shocked the way that market's shaking out.
And Doogie just put out a tweet a little while ago. Just had some good Vikings nuggets. We're going to be chatting about that.
I think I should have dropped some nuggets before the show started.
It's too late for that.
It is. Derek from Arizona. Arizona represent.
In the outhouse.
That's your brother.
Ed Guy rocks in the house. We're gonna wait a little bit more. We're gonna wait a little bit longer here.
Yeah,
a lot to talk about though.
It's like waiting for the kids to quiet down before you read them a story.
Huh.
Have you ever read a bunch of kids a story before?
A bunch of kids? No. No. I'm not. I mean, unless you're a teacher, I don't think you can get away with that. Skull in the hole, Viking Jerome in the house.
Oh, yeah. He's always ready to drop that.
Tony Monkey. He wants some William Jackson. I don't know. I'm assuming that's Tony. Yeah, William Jackson will be discussed tonight.
I think it's Tiny Monkey.
Tiny Monkey. You're probably right.
I heard there was monkeys near Lake Connexus.
Knesset.
He's right. In the house is just too cliche. Derek back, keeping it real, keeping it original. Appreciate that. But it is also Onebar's brother, Outhouse, who he basically said you're inside him.
That's Outhouse. Freaking Outhouse. All right. I can't contain my purpleness anymore. Let's do this. Let's hop right into it. Let's start. Let's at least start with the obvious, the big boy signings. Start with last night. Dalvin Tomlinson, Minnesota Viking. We got two of the fattest, most beautiful run-stuffing defensive tackles in the league, and we're putting them together to make like the WWF tag team of Tugboat and Earthquake.
You mean the natural disaster? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, nobody is going to get a freaking yard on us on the ground.
And he was not Tugboat then. He was Typhoon. So get it right. Get your facts straight. He changed his name to Typhoon.
And to be clear, last week we talked about Anvil, and he is still dead, by the way.
Yeah, RIP. All right, yeah. Let's. My first thought when I saw this last night, as I was preparing to do a completely different video, I was like, "Why the hell are we signing another run stuffer? Makes no sense." We got Michael Pierce come back, who in that video looked like he was ready just to eat people. Figured he'd be enough. But you look at Dalvin Tomlinson a little bit more. He's played defensive end. He's played 3-tech. This guy can rush the passer. I think he graded out as a pass rusher around 74 last year in the PFF ranking. So he can get that done. He's a much better player than Shamar Stephen.
Wow. That's breaking news, everybody.
Well, I'm just saying, you move Stephen around to this new role that he clearly wasn't built to do. Tomlinson can do that. So I think he not only is going to stop the run with Pierce, but he's going to provide some interior pressure, push that pocket inside into quarterbacks' faces, tear up that timing, and really just be a disruptive force. What makes me excited is look at Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr playing behind that wall and Nick Vigil now. Those three playing behind those guys, they're going to be completely freed up. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, he's going to be fantastic. I mean, this is going to bring us back to the days of the Williams Wall and Tomlinson. You're right. When he was signed, it was a little like, what the hell are they doing? But, I mean, he's going to be our 3-tech, and he's going to be a damn good one. And he might be ginormous, but that's going to be fun to watch. And they're going to be clearing up some space. Kendricks, I mean, if I'm Kendricks, I'm happier than Lupagus and what?
Lupagus where? At Burger King?
That was going in a really dark spot. But
yeah,
these linebackers, not only that, it's going to help our secondary. It's win-win-win. We're not going to have to look at possibly reaching for a defensive tackle at pick 14, or even if we get in the round 2 to get at that defensive tackle, because we got them. We are set, and I can't think of a better run-stuffing combo. This defense is going to pull a 180 just with that signing right there.
Well, and you got to look at it, too. He started every game in his career. He's a team captain, so you're getting a guy who's a huge, leader on off the field. Only for it was 2 years, 20-something million. So it's not like it's not a light deal or anything. They're paying quite a bit per year there for him, but you're getting a leader. So he comes in. This guy's done it. I love the experience. I love the fact that he has that C on his jersey. He is a captain. So we need. Yeah, you ever get C on your jersey?
You know what the best part about this signing is, it's when you sign another guy from another team and you just see all these other fans of that team just getting completely sad, depressed, so sad that they leave. You know it's a good signing when that happens. Same with Michael Pierce last year. Maybe we haven't seen him in purple yet, but everyone was so sad to see this guy go. And that is a wonderful sign. Wonderful sign.
Yeah, and you look back, the last guy we signed for the Giants, last D tackle wasn't too bad. So let's hope Mr. Thompson follows that mold. Initial reaction was kind of like, what the hell? More thought about it, more did some research. I pretty much fell in love with Tomlinson right off the bat.
Just those big defensive tackles. They're just lovable. And now we got 2 of them. And, looking at it it's hard to get upset about this move at all. I mean, Phil's a big need, and he is damn good. And it's going to be interesting to see what else to do. So that is Tomlinson. Any parting words for Mr. Tomlinson?
No, I'm glad to have you here. I can't wait to watch you.
Okay, no, I meant just like in general. He's not watching.
I don't know. What else did you want me to say? I don't. I think I say everything I can. You got a great player and you got a leader. You're bringing in another team's captain. What else can you ask for?
Viking Jerome, 3-time state wrestling champ. You're right. I saw his record. It was something crazy. Like
you lost one match.
140-1 or something. Edge guy rocks. Very, very good. Very good comment here. Burger dump.
Sure what that means.
And Ed guy rock. Thank you. Yes, he might be watching. He might be. Let's talk. Let's talk about the other move. What happened after we signed him. Shamar Stephen is finally gone. I know that breaks your heart.
What the hell were they waiting for? I don't know what. There's no reason to keep him. I mean, the guy was complete turd last year. He was good. His second year we had him, went to Seattle, stunk it up there, came back. First year he was kind of meh. Then he was just bad last year. He couldn't play a 3-tech. He couldn't stuff the run. He really had no role for the 3.75, whatever it was, million that he was going to cost. No reason at all to keep him, to restructure him. We've seen enough. Move on. Glad they did. And Shamar Stephen, I will not miss you.
Damn it. Ellis Gregor continues to drop these dimes on us. Tugboat, Typhoon, Shockmaster, Fred Ottman is still kicking, but Earthquake is dead.
Earthquake, hope he had a good turnout at his funeral.
John Tenta. Huh.
Yeah, John. I remember his debut when he came out of the stands and sat on the Ultimate Warrior.
Had it coming. So Shamar Stephen, Gonzo, he did not perform at a very high level for the Vikings. His second stint did not go as well as we had hoped. But to Shamar Stephen's credit, it's not like he had a ton fail, but it had to happen. He's Gonzo. I'm sure he'll get picked up and add some depth somewhere, but it will not be in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do you know where our current cap number is right now? I never really did see after the signings where we're sitting. I thought I saw around 8 or something. I'm not sure. Anybody knows?
Who knows out there? And then obviously the other chatter going on is restructuring Thielen, paying him a lot more money up front to get that number down. We'll see what happens there. But let's talk about our linebacker, our beautiful, shiny linebacker with a fancy mustache, Nick Vigil.
I think it's Vigil, but if you want to call him Vigil, you go ahead.
Riggle?
Virgil? Runkle. God, I wish it was Runkle. I don't think you can come in and assume this guy's going to start. I think they'll let him compete with Troy Dye. I think they'll give Troy Dye a chance to win that spot. But you got an experienced guy. I think he's, a 4-year player in the league. Plays special teams. He can play inside. He can play outside. Gives you pretty much versatility across the board. So I love this signing. The only thing that I think this seals is that it seals the fate of Todd Davis. Will not be
Whoa.
Yeah, no way. Ain't happening.
I don't know if that seals anything. Todd Davis played pretty much for peanuts last year. So we'll see. I'm not writing him off quite yet. I love me some hot Todd Davis. I did reach out to the Guilty as Charged podcast just to see what they think about this guy. And here's his quote. He says, really good veteran presence to have. He started a handful of games for the Chargers, had made a positive impact in each of them, including a few forced turnovers, really solid on special teams. So that's pretty good. I mean, this guy was very cheap. And he could very well be our third starting linebacker. So you can't complain about that either.
No, I got no complaints about the Nick Vigil signing at all. I love his mustache. So see, SSM Creations agrees. He does not think Todd frickin' Davis has come back. No way.
Well, at least he got one thing. Todd Davis is hot, and he's a fantastic linebacker. He'll be in our back pocket.
Yeah, maybe he'll coming up the street again.
We got
to talk about the other signing. Rashad Hill, re-signed him. We both like that.
Rashad Hill. He's back. We all knew it was happening, just a matter of time. The big question with Rashad Hill is, did they bring him back to continue to be the depth guy, or did they bring him back actually to play left tackle and keep Ezra at guard?
I hope to God that's not the plan. I've seen Rashad Hill as a starter in stretches, and it's not great. He tends to struggle. I like him off the bench. So I made that clear many, many times. If they go in the season with Rashad Hill as your starting left tackle, I think we are in a world of trouble. Unless, they move O'Neal out there and they move Rashad over to right, but I can't imagine he is going to be our left tackle next year.
Yeah, it's something I don't really want to think about. I mean, he's back at this point. I'm just going to consider him depth, and Ezra Cleveland our starting left tackle until told otherwise. So that's back. He's back. Very good depth. Not a starter. We'll see. But let's talk as far as Tomlinson and Vigil. How does that affect the draft?
Well, I mean, I didn't really think they're going to take a linebacker too high anyway. I still think they'll take one probably day 3-ish, more depth piece. Remember, you got Blake Lynch coming back too, who I thought played pretty damn well last year. And in one game that he got some extended play. The D tackle is where I do think it affects the draft. I think, Christian Barmore is definitely not going to happen at this point. I still think rounds 3 or 4, you could get a guy who is kind of that, prototypical 3 tech, whether that's like a Marvin Wilson, Jalen Twyman, Darius Stills, someone like that. I could still see the Vikings taking in the mid rounds because they got so many picks there. So why not? But yeah, as far as the early D tackle, it ain't going to happen.
Jelly Monster in the house.
Hi, Jelly Monster.
What time you changed it from gelling to jelly? Yeah, I mean the things that stick out in round 1 was Barmore, Parsons. If for some reason he's there and we just had to have him, we'll see. But I think this definitely puts offensive tackle back on the map, whether it ever left or not. But I think offensive tackle is steadily creeping up into that pick 14.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of free agency shakes out. I still think an edge rusher is very much in play at this point. I would be surprised if they add somebody after already adding Weatherly. So I think Pay Russo, someone like that, is still definitely a possibility. Guard still in play at this point as well, whether it's Vera Tucker, Rashawn Slater. I think Darius. Tackle's gonna be there because it's just gonna be as we approach the draft. The Vikings keep making moves. It's gonna be the one need area now because. Ezra Cleveland, you move him to the left, that's a big gamble. You don't know anything there. You might as well have a backup plan in case he fails because like you said earlier, this defense to be, a 180 from what it was a year ago. So I think your team's be a lot more competitive. And if you get a new huge problem like your left tackle being an issue this year, that's something you want to make sure doesn't happen. So if that means you take a left tackle at 14, then you take a left tackle at 14.
Drafting a center and moving Bradbury to guard an option from the showdown? I don't think so. I think they leave Bradbury where he's at.
And here's the problem with you look at the Vikings last year, they were hell-bent on not making any changes. You see Dakota Dozier struggling all season. They leave him in there. Right guard, Pat Elflein sucked till he got hurt. Drew Samia was put in. He was in there until he could barely move. They finally pull him and put Ezra Cleveland in. So this Vikings coaching staff, their track record with trying guys at different positions or pulling them when they're struggling is not great. I think they're going to stick with Garrett Bradbury. And Rick Spielman's going to die on that hill. Yeah,
and Pat Elflein is going to be a perennial All-Pro next year for the Jaguars, making $4.5 million a year.
Wrong cat. He's a Panther.
Panthers. I'm sorry. I was close.
Yeah.
And also, Mr. Odenigbo is officially a free agent. They did not tender him. Something tells me he's not coming back. I think they picked Weatherly over him. They made a choice.
Well, yeah, it's not only him. I mean, same thing with Chad Beebe, Mike Boone, all those guys. No one was tendered. So basically, the Vikings look at all these guys and said, hey, none of you are good enough to make sure you're back with our team. Odenigbo, I was kind of hoping to see what he would do going back to that situational role coming off the bench, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to have a shot to do that this year. I think he will probably look elsewhere, but he hasn't really had success anywhere else. He went to Arizona for a stint. He went to Cleveland for a stretch. Couldn't do anything there. So maybe he will come back. We'll see what happens. He could be one of those guys that kind of hangs around until June. Mike Boone, I would like to have back. As your third running back, he could do a lot worse. I like the way this guy's play when he gets his chance. Violent runner. With those times he's gotten the start, he actually played pretty damn well. He can catch the ball as well, too. And sounds like the team wants Chad Beebe back. I really couldn't give two shits one way or the other. So
you show him some respect.
It sounds like Beebe wants to be back. Sounds like the Vikings want him back. So I do think Beebe will be back.
Beebe will be back. He'll be back forever until he retires. I think Odenigbo is gonzo. I mean, DJ Wanham. We're going to end up drafting another guy probably all those picks in round 3, round 4, if not round 1, Quiddy Pay guy like that. So I'm not expecting Odenigbo back at all. I think our defensive line is pretty solid, which brings up the big talker is Danielle Hunter. I don't know. There's not much really to talk about because no one knows. Basically, he wants to get paid or he's not coming. And you can look at it from each side. Each side is justified. He signed that thing in 2018, but when you look at it now, seeing all these free agents getting paid freaking bank, these defensive ends are making ridiculous amount of money. And then there's Danielle Hunter just sitting there with his contract. So,
hey, he signed it. His agent had him sign it. So he signed it. So he did what he did. He knew damn well where he was approaching. He knew his potential. He signed the deal. Doesn't mean we shouldn't restructure him. But today he was tweeting how he loves Minnesota. So I feel like it's a whole different mood than we were getting on Monday. So
that wasn't real. That was a fake account.
Well, either way, the Vikings, there has been talk, looking at restructuring his deal. I don't think he goes anywhere. Why would he with those two monsters playing in the middle now? Very, very ideal situation. And we said it the other time, I think on our video on Saturday, coming off a neck injury, not playing last year. If he's out there pushing for a trade, he couldn't have picked a worse time to do it. So we'll see what happens. I don't want him to go. But the Vikings get some kind of crazy-ass offer, multiple first-round picks. I don't know how you turn it down at this point.
Well, you say he couldn't have picked he picked a horrible time or perfect time on his side to put that trade out there because it's right at the start of free agency. He's basically telling us to shit or get out the pot. So he's putting us in a very, very bad spot.
Yeah, but
a naughty spot.
Teams might not offer as much for him or want to pay him if they don't know what his neck's going to be like. So I think, a guy looking for money, neck injury is probably the worst thing you can have on your resume.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Something tells me they're going to probably work this out some way, somehow. But the neck injury is horrifying. But with those two big boys in the middle, you could put Jordan Brailford and DJ Wanham on the outside, and they're going to get some sacks. Big old sacks.
Maybe Wanham.
All right. Well, let's talk. Should we talk about some guys that have been floated around the Vikings over the last couple of days that are still free agents?
Yeah, this would be the scuttlebutt names, and names that have been associated with the Vikings, whether they are sniffing around them or have maybe put in offers that we're hearing. So, let's talk about that. And
First, let's talk about some Viking free agents that haven't signed with anybody yet. I mean, Anthony Harris, that's pretty surprising, and that's one of the names. Let's just talk about Anthony Harris because he's actually been floated back around to the Vikings where they're possibly looking to bring him back.
Well, which just means there's not a whole hot market for him. And, you know, I don't mean to jump into the next topic, but, you know, Keanu Neal's the guy they were looking at as well. Anthony Harris, just seeing how Anthony Harris, it really rubbed me the wrong way. The way he just gave up in that Christmas Day game, not even trying. It still chaps my ass watching a professional, highly paid football player given that kind of half-ass effort on the field at prime stage. So I really, you know, I'm ready to move on. If they bring him back, fine, but I think I'd rather go a different option than Keanu Neal at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to what they would pay him. It's not like, I mean, Anthony Harris is a very good safety. He had a tough year, a couple of games. It was painful to watch, like you said. Depends. I'm still very surprised he hasn't signed with anybody. I mean, he's one of the better safeties in the league. So that's saying something. But maybe the Vikings want to bring him back. Maybe there's some mutual interest. I would have never thought he was going to come back ever. But they, aside from Anthony Harris, they've also made it pretty clear that they're looking to add a safety in free agency. They don't want to go into the draft. So Keanu Neal is a name that has been floated around, and it's pretty tough not to get excited about him. He's had a couple of season-ending injuries, but when he's out there, that dude hits like a truck, and he's not nice. Him and Harrison Smith back there, if you're opposing receiver, there's a 78% chance you will end that game with shit in your pants.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love Keanu Neal. And there's even talk he'd come up and maybe play some linebacker as well. He's very versatile. So I think there's some flexibility with Keanu Neal. Another guy you see the Vikings linked to is Will Parks. Supposedly they tried to trade for him a year ago. He's still out there. I don't think he would be very expensive at all. Probably come in as just starter. You could maybe draft a guy to go along with him if you go that route too. So, yeah, the question to me is, I mean, what would Harris get on the market right now? He's almost 30, isn't he? 29-ish, 28?
Yeah, and when the Browns signed? John Johnson. So when they signed him, I mean, everyone just thought, you know, Anthony Harris is going to be a Brown. So when they passed on him, it was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So we'll see. What other Vikings are still floating around out there? Anthony Harris, he was the big one. Riley Reif surprisingly has not signed with anyone coming off his best season. So Riley Reif, it could be a possibility that he ends up back in purple.
Yeah, maybe get the old discounted price. He shops around, no interest, comes back home with his tail tucked between his little legs there, and we get
like you at Barclays.
No way, that tail's hanging out. Let's see. Jill Johnson surprisingly has a very cold market. Shocked.
That's not surprising. Eric Wilson. Yeah,
I mean, another guy. I can't believe he's cold. And then you know, there's some former Vikings who, you know, Anthony Harris isn't the only former Viking, or not former Viking who Vikings are sniffing around. Supposedly, they're also got a deal on the table for Mackenzie Alexander. So, how would you feel about Mac Alexander returning to the purple?
How would I feel about it? I would be ecstatic about it. I mean, he's been one of the more underrated corners in the league since his last year with the Vikings was fantastic. I would love it. You got guys, I mean, there's other names out there at corner that the Vikings have floated around, but I would love him to come back with these youngsters. Him and Gladney can both play inside. I'd love it. Yeah.
I was surprised for the small little deal he got last year that he wouldn't come back. Remember how good he is at blitzing too. I mean, this guy was one of the best blitzing corners that year. Was it 19 in the entire NFL? I mean, this guy was I don't want to say a force, but he was damn good at it. I'd like to see him play that role again. Whether Gladney goes outside and he goes in the nickel where he probably belongs, that probably be the way to go. Down on the other end, I like that trio of corners, and you got Mike Hughes coming back and Harrison Hand. I will take those 5. I'll play with that.
Yeah. I mean, William Jackson, another guy they're still interested in. They were definitely. It appears they were interested in Shaquille Griffin until he that number started to go way up high. So they're going to bring in a veteran corner. Really, it's just a matter of who it is. So there's no doubt they want to add some age into that group. It's just who's it going to be? And if it's Mackenzie Alexander or William Jackson, who are you taking?
Boy, I'm going to say just for the sake of the cap, I'm going to go with McKenzie and maybe the familiarity, but you can't really lose with either one.
Yeah, I mean, William Jackson probably is the better player, but when it comes down to numbers, Kenzie Alexander is going to be much more easy on the checkbook.
Yeah.
If people still have checkbooks.
I do for like my garbage bill.
Chris Diaz, he wants Mac Alexander.
Look at that guy. What a handsome fella right there.
Other guys out there, free agency that we're still going to be talking about. If there's other free agents that you want out there, you chuck them out there. Did we talk Kyle Rudolph? Somebody mentioned Kyle Rudolph, but he is he's still free agent. And we got 100 viewers.
We did. No, you ruined it. You jinxed it. Yeah, I thought maybe he'd end up in New England.
Oh God, it went down.
But they went and signed, every other tight end. Cameron Manhertz was signed before Kyle Rudolph, but Jacksonville was making some very strange moves down there. But there's still a lot of teams you could go. Cincinnati would make sense. Arizona would make sense. Hell, even like the Colts, I think would make sense. I think some teams are purposely sitting back, waiting until wave 2 to start before they jump in there and spend some money. So I think Kyle Rudolph is probably more of a wave 2 kind of a guy.
Kyle Rudolph seems like a guy that's going to sign like with a team on like August 2nd and just kind of walk in there, maybe catch 5 touchdowns with about 8 catches. I don't think he's in any hurry.
Yeah, maybe he won't even play. Maybe he's just going to retire.
He's still got a little bit left in him. Let's talk the guard position.
Yeah,
our dream was demoralized when Kevin Zeitler and Joe Tooney were gone, which nobody really thought he was coming here anyways, but it hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even get done swallowing my Greek yogurt in the morning, and those two were already off the board. So, I mean, there's a couple ways to go. You looked at today, Rodney Hudson, guard center from Oakland, who was released. Gabe Jackson's out there, Trey Turner. So there's some decent names. There's also, crustier guys, Michael Schofield, Forrest Lamp, guys like that. So it's really what kind of quality are the Vikings looking for here? Are they looking for a guy they know that can play, or they want to go cheap and just find a guy who can maybe hold the place until a rookie's ready to take over?
I want them to sign Forrest Lamp. I want them to sign him right now. I want them to give him a blank check. I want him to write the number on it.
I was excited about Forrest Lamp being a free agent until I saw that he's really never done anything and didn't exactly play well. So I don't know. There's Ethan Pochik, who I think I would put in the same boat as Forrest Lamp. I don't know if he has ever really done anything, but 2 draft crushes we both had.
Well, Forrest Lamp, here's my case for Forrest Lamp. He was very unlucky his first 2 years in the league, season-ending injuries, bad injuries. He finally got to play last year, started all 16 games, did not have a fantastic season, but that was basically his rookie season on a Chargers offensive line that was pure dog shit. So he's got still upside to him. He could there's a chance he's going to come in cheap. He's going to have a prove-it deal, get some guy in here that's hungry, and if he can stay healthy, he's still going to be better than what we had.
Yeah, I'll give you he's got upside, but if you're going to go that route, why not just take a rookie?
Because we suck at drafting rookies.
Well, Forrest Lamp, if we would have drafted him, we would have been in the same category of us sucking at drafting a guard.
If we would have drafted him, he would be in the Ring of Honor already.
I don't think so.
Let me look at the top guards. Who would you mention? Trey Turner.
Yep.
He's fairly old and has some injury issues.
Gabe Jackson, he's not that old, is he?
No, Gabe Jackson's out there, but they got to get somebody. It's just, there's really not shit for guard. Yep. Wah-wah.
Well, and that's, do you take an older guy just to fill in? I mean, you can get a Pochik, you can get a Lamp who do have that upside, a younger guy, but I don't know. I would rather just see him go an old crusty guy. I wanted him to take Mikey Potty a couple years ago. He still played okay, even at his advanced age. So someone like that. But again, there hasn't really been a whole lot signed yet. I mean, even Richie Incognito, the meanest bastard out there, he's still out there. Nick Easton, I'll take Nick Easton. I mean, there's still some options, but man, really not. You're really hoping to get one of those top guys. And I still can't believe Pat Elflein was like the first guy signed in free agency this year.
Earned it, deserved every penny. I'm happy for him. I'm happy a guy like that can still go out there and get a beautiful contract. Whether you liked how he played or not, he's probably got a heart of gold. So go, Pat. Happy for him.
I was harassing Big Cat about his new guard. He had some questions about how good he was.
Well, then they went and signed the guy from Dallas too.
Cameron Irvin.
Oh God.
I don't know.
Whatever. They're still better than ours, but if they don't get anybody, they got to get into that second round and get a guard.
Or they
cannot wait till round 3 to get a guard.
Well, no, but maybe they do it in round 1, which I really don't want them to do. You know what I want.
Guard, well, Vera Tucker, I guess, but there's not many other options. Slater's going to be gonzo. Guard is definitely still the biggest concern right now with the Vikings. Guard, safety. We definitely still need to get a receiver. But other than that, we're sitting all right. Offensive, we got some holes to fill.
I still think we need a defensive end opposite Danielle Hunter. I think we have a bunch of guys right now and not the guy. So I'm still putting end very much in play at 14.
Well, let's go over some nuggets. So Wolfson had a good podcast today. Doogie, couple of nuggets just to go through. They were definitely all in on a defensive end. Trey Hendrickson, Carl Lawson got outbid. So they went inside. Also, we got Dalvin Tomlinson, which we already talked about, which is fantastic. But the fact that they were going after those defensive ends, I wonder if they're just done now. The fact they got the defensive tackle, are they just going to wait till the draft? Maybe Cody Pay, Greg Russo in round 1.
That's kind of what I'm feeling, but I have nothing to back that up other than my gut and my heart.
Oh, gross.
I mean, there is Carlos Dunlap out there. I don't know if he still around when Zim was in Cincinnati. I think so.
He was.
So that's an option. But right now, yeah, I feel like Weatherly was that guy that they know they can plug in there if they need to as a starter. So I think it's going to be Weatherly. Then I think it might be a first-round rookie backing him up and eventually taking over by midseason.
He also mentioned Trey Turner, Gabe Jackson, possibly 1-year deals, which we already talked about, which does make a lot of sense. The possibility of Riley Reif possibly coming back if the numbers work out and Riley Reif doesn't get much love, which still blows my freaking mind. Some team, I can't believe that he hasn't been signed. Shame on them.
Well,
Riley Reif guy.
Who knows what he's asking for? Who knows what his agent's trying to get him? He is 32, 3. He's up there. But yeah, how well he played last year. It is kind of surprising someone, even a contender, didn't give him like a 2-year deal. So yeah, if he came back, that would be huge. Keep Ezra Cleveland at right guard and find a left guard, whether that's in you trade round 2, round 3, I'm fine with that.
And he also confirmed Danielle Hunter will not step inside that TCO unless there's a new contract.
Wow. Let's see.
Bold.
Was it like he's sitting on Danielle Hunter's lap when he did the podcast or what?
He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
Well, let's see what they can work out. Rob Brzezinski is pretty much a magician when it comes to the cap. I'm sure he'll figure something out. Maybe we'll just keep backloading him like, what Falcons do with Matt Ryan.
Not horrible. Who are some other guys that we want to smell around those Vikings?
Well, one thing we haven't talked about, I haven't heard any buzz since free agency was even before. So there was Keelan Cole, the wide receiver from Jaguars. The wide receiver market's one that I'm surprised at all the names that are still out there. Kenny Galladay is still out there. Juju Smith-Schuster. I even thought guy like Keelan Cole been signed. You see the guys that are getting signed. Kendrick Bourne, of all people. Will Fuller still out there. Corey Davis went to the Jets. John Ross signs with the Giants today. It's weird. It seems like teams looking for very specific things in these guys who are signing. So a name like Smith-Schuster and Kenny Galladay, I don't expect them to come to Minnesota, but you're kind of waiting for that top bar to get set. And I think one of those guys have to sign before the rest of the dominoes fall. But Keelan Cole, I think he's a guy who's going to, be lower mid-range price. And, it would make sense with Keenan McCardle being here. I would love to see Keelan Cole join the purple.
Don't be talking about Keelan Cole. You're going to get my purple juices flowing because I would love him quite a bit. But yeah, those big boys need to get signed right off the top before some of these other ones start falling. You got Curtis Samuel out there. You got Rashad Hollywood Higgins, who I absolutely love for no real reason. Sammy Watkins. There's just a shit ton of receivers, which even when those dominoes start falling, some of these guys are just not going to get paid what they're looking for. And the Vikings will be right there waiting with that beautiful 1-year deal to bring him in.
Like Richard Mark, they're going to be Richard Marks in it.
I was trying to think how that song goes, but I can't think of it.
Wherever you go, Whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you.
That is horrible. You just did Richard Marx and Injustice. What was the other? He had another good song. I can't remember.
Hazard.
I don't know.
Hell of a song.
Anyway. Ty Zucker wants Melvin Ingram. That sounds like a hefty price. Is he still a free agent?
I don't know. Isn't he kind of a tweener, DN, outside linebacker? I don't know. I don't want a tweener.
I thought Melvin Ingram was still a Charger, to be honest. So
yeah, I'm getting beautiful.
No, he's right. He's unsigned. He's an edge rusher.
Sounds like I think I should sing every episode.
I don't. That's not the song I was thinking of.
Yeah, there's another one that I didn't like.
But you are getting rave reviews, so I'm not going to complain about it.
It wasn't good enough for 8th grade choir, I'll tell you that.
Nope. Lupagus did not make the squad. He did not make it. Made my day.
Yeah, you were never more happy. I had never seen you happier than when you told me I did not make the cut for choir.
All right, so the Vikings are sitting right here. This is their prime time. They made their splashy signing. They made their weird signing linebacker, which we're both excited about, but it's nothing you get overly excited about. Now they're just going to sit back. They're going to sit back. Hopefully they still get that cornerback because that seems to be something they're definitely sniffing around at, and a little bit of safety. But other than that, I would actually be just fine with them hanging out for a week. Let's see who's just kind of still out there looking for a contract. I don't know about you, but I'd be just fine with that. Guard-wise, there's no point of going and pouncing on a guard. There's nobody left.
Well, there's a few guys that still be okay. I feel like they're going to make one more move before they really sit back and take a rest. So we'll see what happens tomorrow or maybe tonight. You know, Vikings, they did all their dirty work. It was after 10 o'clock last night. So maybe that's everybody stay up tonight and watch the Twitter because that's when it's going to happen after 10 o'clock. Rick Spielman is a nocturnal beast, and he hunts when the moon's out.
Ooh!
My God, he looked just like Teen Wolf when he did that.
That's the nicest thing. Hold on to the night. Hold on to the night. That's the one I was thinking of.
That could be the one.
Hold on. Something. Memories?
To the memories. To the memories. Yeah, Ellis Gregory he's always quick with the answers. He's like the human version of Google.
Ellis Gregor's a damn walking encyclopedia of 80s genre.
Let's just call him Ellis Google. Yeah, you ever notice in the scene in Teen Wolf when they're in the gym and there's a guy in the background that stands up with his pants down?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's fantastic.
He's tucking his shirt in randomly.
Doozle is cool is asking about Adoree Jackson, a guy I did want to bring up, talking about cornerbacks. What is your take on Adoree Jackson, who was released by the Titans today? Are you interested? As Joe Kavlin was not with that young lass.
I don't know. I think Adoree Jackson's looking for more of that splashy number one role. I don't know. I guess I'm more interested in bringing some older, crusty guy in that can whip these fellas into shape at corner. I'm not going to say I don't want him. I just think he's going to probably command a little bit more money than we want to throw at him.
You mentioned, teams lamenting the fact you signed the player that they liked, talking about how good he was. When I was reading about Adoree Jackson on a lot of Titans fans' Twitters today, supposedly he wasn't very good last year. He was the player they picked on. So he struggled, but I suppose he wasn't. I don't think he was fully healthy either. So, he may be one of these guys you're gambling on. So he might be up for a 1-year prove-it deal. He can return punts and kicks. So I would not be, I wouldn't be too upset if we got Adoree Jackson, especially from that return factor.
Give me a keg of beer.
Julian is thirsty right now.
It's Teen Wolf. Come on, man. Teen Wolf. Yeah, he's isn't he a really good return guy? It ain't gonna happen. I mean, I'd be all for him, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah. So we'll see. Nicholas Martinez.
Wow, boom. Thank you, Nicholas. What a guy.
Thank you very much, sir. Xavier Rhodes, showdown.
Hey, we should maybe ask his question.
Oh, I got so excited. I'm sorry. If Gilmore is play for $10 million, should we pay him in play if they're only asking for second and fourth?
Future second and fourth. Well, the thing is here, you could make
second and a fourth
to recoup one of those picks. I actually would be game for that as well. And I don't like trading away draft picks, but Stephon Gilmore, he is so damn good. Lockdown corner. Viking, it seems like a win-win. I would be game for that.
He could have our fourths for the next 10 years. I love Gilmore. I mean, That's insane. He's
Jeff Carson?
Huh?
You Jeff Carson?
Hey, if that's what it takes to get him, you're damn right. Nicholas Martinez, thank you, sir, once again.
Yeah, what a guy.
Showdown talking about Xavier Rhodes, which is a very interesting topic. Another former Viking who's still out there, had a pretty damn good year with the Colts considering. What do you think? I don't think it's going to happen, but it's fun.
Here's the thing. There's a couple of things. I was not kind of Xavier Rhodes his last season here. Said some very mean things, wrote some very bad things about him. I would need to write him a long, heartfelt apology or do a video, kind of the way Billy Madison did when he was apologizing. I don't know, was it Happy Gilmore? It was Happy Gilmore, I believe, when he did the apologizing to Tubbs, whatever his name is, Chubbs.
Jesus, man.
You're smart, I'm stupid, you're
Chubbs,
beautiful, I'm ugly. Yeah, well, I had to do a Chubb-style apology to Xavier Rhodes. I don't know. Was it a fluke? Was it the scheme change? I don't know what it was. For whatever reason, his play just fell off here. I don't know. What makes me think it won't happen, just the way when he was hurt, Zimmer kept saying, "You're fine, he's fine, he's fine." And I really think he was hurt for at least part of that time. He was horrible. So I wouldn't be surprised that the blood was so bad that Xavier Rhodes wouldn't want to come back here. Question is, I mean, yeah, he's not a Ring of Honor guy, right?
Xavier Rhodes?
I mean, he was pretty damn good there for a stretch, but it was long enough.
There's some guys ahead of him on the list.
Yeah, I was just, put him in that range. I'm curious what everybody thinks. Yeah, I wouldn't
even think Joey Browner's in there.
Should be.
Yeah, a lot of Greg Russo scuttlebutt in the comments. That
yes.
No, I gotta admit, like, now that we have that defensive tackle, I haven't been the biggest Gregory Rousseau guy, but to get just a flat out pass rushing monster, Rousseau, Kwity Paye, there's a handful of guys in that from picks 10 to 25 that are just all in this mix of beautifulness, and I would be fine with any of them. I mean, the thought of just completely stacking that defensive line now gets my parts very excited.
Azeez Ojulari, would you be excited about him?
No.
Wow.
Or Jason Away. I got a little ahead of myself. I'm sticking to Kwity Paye and Greg Rousseau. Those are the guys I want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want.
I could be swayed.
But yeah. I mean, I'd be fine with either one. I like Rousseau because I just think the ceiling's higher, and I want a guy with the high ceiling right now. Let's see what else there to talk about. I feel like
we can talk about the fact that our starting guards right now are Drew Samee and Kyle Hinton.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna stay that way.
I know. I just had to mention that at least once.
I mean, worst case, you'd probably go with Rashad Hill at left tackle, and you kind of spreading the shit around. You have shit at left tackle, but not as much shit at guard. So
still shit out there.
It's still shit, but at least you're equally dispersing the shit that way.
Well, let's each give our not perfect scenario, but just a really good feeling scenario over the next week. What the Vikings do in this free agency. I'll let you go first.
How specific you want us to get? You want names or positions or what?
I mean, 3 positions, each with a name. I think is fair.
All right.
Realistically, let's just be realistic.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think they are going to make a move. I think they're going to get Keelan Cole. I think they want him. I think they target him. I think that is going to happen. Okay, well, here's something that's going to bring you down. I do think they're going to sign Sean Mannion as a backup real soon.
Well, no, they'll sign him like April 12th.
And yeah, I think they'll end up with a corner. I don't know. I think Mackenzie Alexander's going to come back.
I can get on board with that. I think they're going to get I think they're either going to get William Jackson or Mackenzie Alexander. I think they're going to get a fairly splashy cornerback. If it comes down to the two, I'd rather have Mackenzie Alexander and then go after a guy like Keanu Neal. Maybe I'm going into a little bit of fantasy land, but those safeties, I've said it multiple times, free agency safeties like that, 1-year deals, like look at the Malik Hookers, they're not going to get paid a ton of bank. So having some guy come here on a 1-year deal, adding a safety, adding a corner, and then just one of those just mid-tier guards. They have to sign a guard. It might not be sexy, and when it happens, Vikings fans are going to be like, what the hell? Why do we sign this guy? But our options are limited. There's not that many great guys out there. And yes, Sean Mannion will be signed.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, with guard, what's out there, they can wait. I mean, really. I mean, if you go out and sign a Trey Turner tomorrow, or if you wait and you get a, Michael Schofield June 2nd, what difference does that make? I don't know. Talent wise, where they are in their career wise, it's pretty much a wash. So maybe you let the draft play out first, and then you go and find your veteran guard. But we'll see what happens. But I think maybe guard is the one of these positions they might wait on a little bit.
Lupagus will not get a Russo jersey. Every time he buys a jersey, they either get cut or just retire. So that would be a very, very bad sign. Kevin Stern brings up a good point here. Kyle Pitts, if he falls to 14, I think is definitely on the table. I mean, why wouldn't he be?
Oh, I would streak that card in because he's not just a tight end. He can put him outside as wide receiver. You can use him so many different ways. To me, that's a slam dunk pick. If he's there, you got to take him. But I don't think there's any chance in hell he gets to 14 right now. I think there's too many teams realize what kind of weapon he can be. Teams are signing players. They're much more open with. You're not really locked in any certain positions. A lot of those teams in the top 10 now, where I do think that's where Kyle Pitts is going to go.
Yeah, they got Kyle Pitts, Irv Smith, Jefferson, Thielen, Dalvin Cook. Good Lord. Put Dalvin Tomlinson in the backfield at fullback on the 1 yard line.
Oh. What just happened there?
Shit's exploding left and right. That's what's happening. I'm getting excited. This season needs to start. Woo!
Yeah. Well, it's a long wait, so don't get too excited still.
Let's talk quick about our counterparts in the NFC North.
Sure.
Packers bring back Aaron Jones. What else have they done? They've been fairly quiet.
I think that's about it. Aaron Jones. They tendered Bob Tanyan for like a second rounder.
Well, good for them. Lions, what have they done?
They've lost a bunch of receivers.
Yeah, Marvin Jones. He's a Jaguar too.
He's a Jaguar. Kenny Galladay's still out there to be had. Other than the trade earlier, I think they've been pretty damn quiet as well. Dan Campbell's not finding guys who want to eat people's knees.
Bears are looking for that quarterback. They did sign.
They found him.
Andy Dalton. It'll be interesting to see if that is their move or not. But that's a good thing to see. I was a little afraid the Packers might. I guess as far as the Aaron Jones, when it comes to him, it sounds like it was either him or Lindsey. I'm glad they picked Jones. I'm all for the Packers having a shittier offensive line, especially when we got those big boys up front.
Yeah. Jones ain't going nowhere against the. We have to make a new name for this wall. We'll figure it out.
Tomlinson and Pierce.
Sounds like a really bad law firm.
Yeah, that does sound like a law firm, but that's been used before, so we got to think of something better.
No, I wasn't saying that was my answer. We'll think of a good wall name. It could be the purple.
Nope. This is gonna end badly.
There we
go. Esmer's got a great one. The Bulwark.
I'm gonna whip out the Bulwark right now.
I thought I had a Bulwark in high school, but it was just a cyst.
Yeah, that was horrible. The Bulwark. I don't know what that means. I want to Google it. Ellis Gregor probably knows what it means. Probably knows the origin of it.
The Tommy Pierce.
Not bad.
Not sold, but not bad. Not sold, but not bad. All right. How we wrapping this hog up?
Well, I got a fact to drop on you all, but anything else you want to talk about? I mean, the Bears, we didn't really touch too much on that. You got to think they're going with one of these rookie quarterbacks. You can't take Andy Dalton to be your starter. I look at him as a mentor, and then probably letting a young guy, so whether that's Mac Jones or if they can get up even farther. I expect the Bears to make a major trade on draft day after what they just did today. Onebar apparently is still thirsty. I don't know where he's going.
I don't know. I'm back. I was gonna say, hey, we gotta pimp pickandShovelware.com before we go. We're close. We are very close to 2,500 subscribers. So if you're watching, you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe and do a hashtag sauce in the comments. I haven't pulled this guy out in a while.
You haven't pulled it on a live before.
2,500 subscribers. We're gonna do a giveaway. Jimmy Klein sauce.
Oh my God. Look at that.
PickandShovelware.com. Beautiful print. So make sure to subscribe. Hashtag sauce that hog. There we go. Julian Marker. We've seen a lot of, I got to be honest. I'm pulling for Julian when it comes to this. This won't be rigged, but a lot of sauces from him.
We'll see.
we'll see. And we'll keep refreshing that Twitter.
Oh.
What are you laughing at?
Ed Guy Rocks made me giggle.
Red Guy what?
Ed Guy Rocks, something with Red Rocket. He wrote the word undies and then 2 hogs. It just made me.
Oh, man. Undies.
I know. That's what got me.
All right. Well, every week. And you know what? Everything is going on. We might come live more than once a week. We'll see what happens. But thanks, everybody, for joining. This has been fantastic. Love talking some purple and some exciting. At least we got some free agents happening. Hopefully, we'll get another one very, very soon. Patrick Harms, he wants that thing so damn bad.
Yeah, and remember, check back Twitter tonight, 10 o'clock. That's when Rick Spielman likes to strike. And as you're waiting, think about this. In 2018, swimming was banned at a seaside town in the north of France due to a horny dolphin named Zafar.
All right. Thank you for that fact.
No, I got to finish this one. Zafar is making sexual advances and rubbing itself on humans.
All right. We will be back very soon.
Thanks
for joining.